up, guys? Welcome back to the fact that we are your hosts, Victoria, Lucas, and Emma, and we're excited.
Hey, my people.
What's going on?
Welcome back to the monthly Jibber Jabber.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's all I just heard.
Monthly Jibber Jabber. I feel like that should be our name of the podcast, right?
The Jibber Jabbers.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea. We could have come up with that a year and a half ago.
Exactly. There's a lot of that.
There's
a lot of love. There's a lot of love in the air, right?
Oh, Valentine's month.
Valentine's month.
Bear me.
Did we celebrate?
Did I have exams all week? Yes.
Yes.
So no.
No.
I did, you know?
You did.
Well, the first time in, I think ever, I did.
Oh, that's
but
cute.
Nothing major. Just, we had a couple of pastries and had a cup of tea and then watched a movie and ordered pizza, and that one we called it.
That's amazing.
It was a Tuesday. It was a Tuesday.
Yeah, it was Tuesday.
Yeah, so you can't really do much anyways, can you?
No. I feel like a Valentine's Day at some point should be on a Saturday, but that never works.
No.
How do you guys feel love?
Do we feel love?
I just choked.
Oh yeah, well, see,
like, that's a metaphor.
That's the kind of love.
It literally took her breath away.
It did take her breath away.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. I'm just looking at it the way, love can choke.
Oh.
In the most, sensible way.
Oh, okay.
To catch a madrift.
I love this. You guys guessed it. Today we're talking about love.
Love.
Oh, that
I was like,
J
is there
song.
another letter?
Love.
I mean, we were just talking about it. The concept of Valentine's Day for me is not. I feel like I don't like Valentine's Day, but only not because I feel like you shouldn't. Like, it's nice to have a special day, but I feel like it shouldn't be exclusive to Valentine's Day. No,
you can share the love for whoever you have on any other day. That's my perspective about it. I don't need something that, those stores dictate me. Now you gotta buy all the flowers, you gotta buy the chocolates and
it's
stuff.
capitalism.
I don't really need that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was sitting on, because Valentine's Day was on Tuesday, and a lot of my friends are in a relationship, and I'm not, but I don't feel bad about it myself. Like, I'm happy to be single, or like I'm happy in the position I am in my life. But another girl that's not in a relationship with, like, turned to me and she was like, so what are we doing tomorrow? And I was like, I don't know, living? Like, I don't know
about you, but I'll be home, okay? I'll be home having a pretzel.
She's like, I don't know, it's just a normal Tuesday.
I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like I love romantic love, but I feel that it's so stigmatized that being single is that you're like missing something. And I feel like a lot of times in my life, I felt that in, like, especially those situations, that I was missing something, that, like, being single is something that is a transition state, like, in our society, you know what I mean? Whereas just owning, I have so much love in my life that comes from other sources that is as important, I feel. Because
do tell us about these sources.
You guys?
Yeah.
For example?
Oh my God, yeah.
I have really amazing friends, and I feel that love all the time, and I feel like I feel the love from my family, and when I spend quality time with people, I really feel that love, or like when I need help and my friends are there for me. And even if I think having a romantic partner is amazing, and I'm excited for that to happen when I meet the right person. But I feel like even if you only have that love, you're going to lack in the others if you don't invest, because love is such an investment.
It is.
And
give and take.
I've talked to Vic about it, just how important it is to nourish love in every parts of your life, especially also with yourself. Which is what I've tried to do, because I can be very negative with myself and like give out to a lot of people. And now I've realized that oh, if I give that to myself, I can actually show up in a way more loving way to others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love yourself to love others. That's the key.
For sure. For sure. And like, not that you have to be completely perfect in every aspect of your life and feel like, oh, I have everything under control and I love every part of myself and I can't enter a relationship until that point. I don't believe that. But I believe that you need, for me, love is care. So it's like, how do I know how to take care of myself? And I take care of other people, and knowing how other people can take care of me. Because some person might be showing me love in their way and I am not receiving it at all because I don't value it in that way. You know what I mean? I like talk to Vic, especially running topic of our pod, is that I am not always in contact with people. But that for me doesn't mean I love them less. But maybe for somebody that needs that, they feel like Emma doesn't care about me.
It's about the validation.
It's different. You have to understand that people's perspective on love is very different. So you can't project 100%. Your own way of being like, oh, well, I respond to messages every hour or every second, then other people have to be the same. And that's what I've noticed, for instance, in my friendship with Emma, or even other friends that might not respond or be as accessible at that time, but that doesn't mean they're wrong. That just means that's their way of dealing with it. And maybe if that's the way they do it, they might feel better and give you more of their quality time once they do give that time, right? So it's like, maybe if she's accessible and gives 1 second replies, she might not give, you know, her whole like heart into it, or like she might not, like she might half-ass it, who knows, like that's maybe how she feels, right? So before I was like, well, people have to be like the way I am, right? Because my form of love is like answer to my text or like call whenever, spontaneous, but everyone's not like that, you know? And like even family members I have that they're like, no, my mom is like super chill with that. She's like, I can't talk right now, I'm tired. And I get that. And then, well, my mom is always open to call and whatever, but she also has boundaries. And I realized I have that too. But with love, it's important that's what I'm saying. You have to understand that people have different forms of love and different ways of giving love, right? And
different forms of expressing love.
Exactly. Because I always, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like society kind of implements this idea of the only love you have to strive for is romantic and relationship love. For me, that was such a main thing. That was so significant for so many years of my life, because I was single for so many years of my life, right? Like I never was in high school. I didn't have relationships, and I'm open to talk about it because I like talking about it. It's not a taboo thing. I mean, people used to be like, oh my God, you haven't. I don't care personally, but I just, for me, was like, oh, you have to be in a relationship to feel love. And that kind of implements this idea of never being complete. Like you're always looking for something to feel satisfied, to feel love. But it's like, why can't I feel love in this moment in my life? It's like this girl was talking about on TikTok. She was like, retired people wait until they're 60 to be like, oh, well, now I can live my life. Oh, now I can have fun. But then they realize I've wasted 60 years of my life doing what? Waiting for the last 30. And now I'm old. I can't do anything. You're looking for something that, even if you have a romantic, like Emma said, like you might not even feel the thing you thought you would feel initially. The thing people were telling you, like, oh, you're going to feel great. You're going to go to the movies. These are the cherries on top, right? We're not talking fundamental things. Arguments. There's so many kind of complex parts of a relationship that you might be in it and you might be like, oh my God, is this really what love is? Is this really what they're trying to tell me? This is not what I'm looking for. Like, that's why self-love is such a fundamental thing. And, you know, I mean, all of us three, I think, we're working on it. We're not there yet. It's not easy. It's not an easy path.
No, certainly not. But I think at the end, like, you know, at the moment, it's like a very popular thing to like go into the self-love, take care of yourself, like kind of create like you're in a bubble where like you do your skin routine, you like clean everything in the house. Like that's a massive thing. It's a massive trend coming along right now. And I think that is something ever so interesting, because in that you can really see the reflected change in society. Because considering, like, for example, our parents' generation, they had it very different. They, to some extent, you know, they needed to know, like, they needed to have a partner to have children, because, you know, when the mother goes into maternity leave, for example, the father needed to provide for the family. But for our generation already, it is very different. We have a different mindset about these things. We have the mindset of, like, you know, I come first. I need to take care of myself. I need to, you know, be happy with where I am. And also, you know, these days both partners work full time, which is a mandatory thing, especially when you consider inflation and stuff like that now. So I think what this really reflects is the ever so changing society, and the way that, you know, the social norms actually do change, despite them not being reflected, like the change not being reflected in you know, cinematography, which is something, you know, most young generations actually like look at in order to see what's actually expected of me when becoming an adult. And I think this change is not only very interesting, but also very catchy, because for me personally, like, it is very easy to, like, take care of only yourself, because well, you know what you need, you know what you want, you know when you want it. But because it's in relation to looking after someone else, like caring for a relationship, you know, like this caretaking process is ever so different if you do it for somebody else, because you can't really look behind their frontal lobe, you know. So it is
so
you're saying, what you're trying to say is that it's the most simplistic love, yet we make it kind of so complicated for ourselves, right?
We make it so complicated, and we make it ever so crucial in our life, that I think the love, the interhuman love, the relationship kind of love, actually in a way gets forgotten about, because you don't really need it anymore, because, like, women are not dependent on men anymore, you know. We have all these, you know, power women that, you know, leave the men behind, stuff like that, you know. And then, like, first of all, we don't need it anymore. Second of all, it is a different trend, like different things are being projected on social media for the younger generation to strive towards, which yeah, I'm giving up here. You got the message. You got
preach.
I got my story across. No,
I
but
think like you're totally right, and I totally agree, and that's how I feel. And I think that
it's interesting. It's interesting when he talks about a shift, right? Like, he talks about a shift, because it's so true. Like, we all went from being super nurturing to, like, constantly thinking love is kind of working for your husband or doing things. But now it's a shift in mentality. But now it's hard for us to be like, damn, okay, am I supposed to love myself? Like,
I think honestly, like, what I've noticed, or like the mistakes I've made, just because we grew up like watching the Disney princesses and watching rom-coms, and like often in rom-coms I feel like the relationships are super toxic, but they're just romanticized, and like I feel like a good healthy relationship, be it with friends or with a partner or whatever, is just calm and nurturing. It would be so boring to be on screen. You know what I mean? Because
it wouldn't be entertaining.
It wouldn't be entertaining because it's just, and I think what I've noticed is you really have to formulate like a goal for you, and being like, how do I want to feel every day? And how do my relationships reflect how I want to feel? Do I want to feel on edge? Do I want to feel anxious? To have these little moments I believe are love, because I don't know, then somebody is super toxic, but then they bring you a huge bouquet of flowers, and we're like made to think, oh my God, what an amazing person. But maybe like there's another person, or this person has to be 6 feet tall or 1 meter 80. And it's like, but what do I actually need? Is like, I need to feel nourished. I want to feel supported. And I feel like a partner or a friend, a good friend or partner, are people that make you love you more. And then in turn, like, that's your job. You're not trying to fix them or thinking that love is something that needs to be earned, because love is already there. Like, I feel I feel a lot of times, like, if we have a dog, right? We just love that dog. My childhood dog would pee everywhere because she was sassy. Like, if she was angry at us, she would pee. Right?
Yeah.
But I love that dog. I love that dog despite her, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't have to be perfect. And I feel like a lot of times when I almost got into a relationship or something, I would think, what's wrong with me? Like, why don't I think this gesture is amazing and like making me love this person more? But it's just not what I value. It's like, I don't really care about those things. I like being felt like I'm taken care of, but I don't need big romantic gestures.
Some people do.
Some people do.
Yeah.
But I kept thinking, is something wrong with me because I don't.
Yeah, it's because you're fed this idea of like rom-coms, like you're saying, like, let's go to the movies, buy you flowers, and that equals love. And it's literally rom-com. Like, it's in that category, which is romantic love. But it doesn't make sense because we're so multi-dimensional beings. Like, we have so many different interests.
Yeah.
But Hollywood just puts it at one. It's like, you want chocolate? That's love. If I get you, like, it's so many other things, right?
But you also got to keep in mind, in these rom-coms, the people, like the characters, they don't really have a bloody personality.
They really don't.
You know, they're just
it's always a negative
flowers, love.
Yeah.
You know, I was like,
that isn't love. We have to redefine what love is to ourselves, and that's what we're talking about, basically. And I feel like for me, like you touched upon it, but it's like, it's interesting where I recently have discovered what I value love is, like you said with your dog, it's just like people completely and wholeheartedly accepting me for me.
Yeah.
And I can tell that obviously when I'm interacting with them, and that for me is love. It's nothing that I have to do to gain it. I don't me just existing and people being like, I like you, man. Like, I vibe with you. That, and I can tell that vibe, that is love for me. And equally for me, I have for others. I try to accept them. Obviously, we have judgments internally. It's all of it is very implicit. And
for humans,
yeah, but it's like, that's love for me. But also hobbies, and like, I like playing chess, and that for me is a quality time. And I love that because it puts me at a mindfulness state, and that is what I find love. I don't know, like, that makes me calm. So I'm like, I'm spending this time with myself, right? And I like that. But there's different types, like, and not even friendships, like, what kind, love for animals, love for plants, like, people love plants,
dude. Lucas is like, I love plants, but also same, like, I even for me, it's like being in my street, always going to the same coffee shops, and the same person.
Dude, your bakeries, yes.
Like, saying hello to people on the street and them smiling at me. Like, I feel like it's just that he's like, and Lucas is like, never happened to me. But for me, that's like,
in Riga.
Not in Riga. Oh my God, for sure. Little moments for me more than the big moments. Some people need the big moments, but I'm definitely a victim of, in like a low moment, to watch like Instagram reels and be like, oh my God, why don't I have this? But I really noticed that comparing yourself in either way is never good, because you don't know what a person has to do to be in that situation. Like, you just see such a little glimpse. And I mean, there's a reason that over 50% of marriages end in divorce. I think it's just, we are definitely in a generational shift of love and what love really means. And I feel like it can be lonely sometimes if you know what you want and what you don't want. But it's also such a form of self-respect to step away from a situation where you know, like, this is not serving me anymore, and I'm not just going to stick it out to stick it out. Obviously, some situations should be stuck out, and I feel like our generation also half-asses a lot of things, and it's just like, okay, I'm out. This is annoying. But it's
I agree.
I feel like, I don't even know. I think what's important is to know what I've realized. For me, like I said, friendship is a huge thing. Like, my friends are really like my family, and I'm so lucky to have friends like you guys, because it really is. And it's like, same with like romantic partners. I feel like sometimes we put the pressure on, like, oh, I'm gonna go on a date with this guy and it has to be perfect. Whereas, like, with friends, we don't put that much pressure on it in the beginning.
Fact.
And you really first, after a time of knowing each other, see who are the people that really see me for me.
Yeah.
And those people are also rare. So why are we expecting every person we go out on a date with or two that they're going to show up as the perfect person right away? Or that, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's such an evolving process, and I just know who my close friends are. I have acquaintances, but I also have people where I never think about, what did I just say? Or can I text them now? Or can I call them? Do I... Like, people are scared of texting people they've been dating for like 5 weeks to double text them. You know what I mean? I don't have time for that energy. I'm like,
no.
You, in a relationship, either way, as I feel like friends or partnerships, you have to show up as who you are. Because if they don't, like, if I'm dating now, I'm not going to be on my phone every day because I feel obligated in this society to text the person I'm interested in every day. That's not realistic to me. If I give that person that impression, that person is going to be disappointed in 3 months when they realize the real me does not do that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like removing expectations is important. Like, right?
Yes.
Because in friendships, I think it's less compared to relationships, because relationships are like, why didn't you call me back? Are you out? What are you doing? Like, with who are you? That is too much of a controlled state you're in.
Yeah.
And that for me isn't love, right? Like, for some people it is. And it's like, but I saw this movie where she was like, I'm in a happy relationship, but I don't feel love. I have love for that person, but I don't feel in love. I don't feel that. And it's fine. You know, that is also fine. You don't have to, like, it's important to be aware of certain situations. Like, I have love for that person, but they don't have to be my best friend. Like, I like them. They're like you said, we're acquaintances. And I have realized, I don't know about you guys, the less people you have in your life, the more at ease you are with life sometimes, right? Because you know what you want and you filter out what you don't want. And you're very easy to like pinpoint, oh, okay, so this is a green flag. This is kind of what I like. I feel love around this person because I'm wholeheartedly myself. And I feel it being reciprocated. But with others, I'm like, I can't really express how I'm feeling, right? I feel like this. I can't really do that. So for me, I've experienced a lot of love in friendships, like Emma said. Like, love has been evolved exponentially in friendships, and I've seen what is right and what is wrong in my terms of love. I've seen like, oh, I can't say what I want to say. How do like, how is that an authentic friendship? But I've known this person for years, right? And she or he is someone I really value, but I still feel unease. And that is fine. Like, you can be friends with someone for 10 years and be like, you know what? This isn't serving me. I don't feel love in this friendship, and I don't feel love for this person. And that is, we need to break taboos. Like, not taboos. We need to break social constructs telling us, like, you've been with this guy for 20 years. You shouldn't leave him. No, girl, you can leave him if you want. Like, you know what I mean? That loving yourself entails doing things that are going against the norm. Like, you have to be like, I'm setting this boundary. Once again, we're going to talk about boundaries later, but like, boundaries reflect self-love for me, and that's why I'm like bringing it up. It's not easy, like, in my opinion, because people have an kind of perception of you of like, oh, this girl never sets boundaries, but now she's doing it. But it's because it's on the path of self-love. You know what I'm saying? You have to do some things. You have to, like, you know what, put your foot down and be like, no, I don't want to do this. I do want to do that. But but yeah, romantic
stand up
love,
for yourself.
Is not all types of love. There's so many different types.
There's so many, and I feel like you need all of them, and especially like just taking time getting to know yourself. That can even happen in a relationship, that can happen during friendships, but knowing like, what do I need, and being clear about that, because oftentimes I feel like we expect that other people know what we need, and then they don't show up, and then there's resentment, right? And then you're like, and then the other person's like, you never told me what you needed. Like, I felt like I was giving you everything. So it's just also, I feel like people you love, you're not afraid to have those hard conversations because you know they're not going to leave.
Because you got to be honest about them. You got to openly share what you think, feel of a certain situation or something. Like, honesty is key, always.
Yeah.
Love is making me sick.
I know the feeling. And
digressing into like, sorry, were you saying something?
No, go for it.
Okay, so me and Em actually talked about this. I also saw it in a podcast. To be loved brackets D, so to be loved or to be loved.
Yeah.
Right, and that is by Humble the Poet. Emma introduced.
Yeah, it's a book. Yeah,
it's a book, and he basically talks about in order to be loved, you have to, like, in order to love and to be like you, by you emanating just love to, that is, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, in order to receive the love you want, you just have to be it. Like, you have to be loved.
Yeah.
Just be love. And like, when you're out, try to understand, like, people are going through stuff, right? Be love. Yeah. And being love also entails like having a mindset shift, right? If someone's saying something to you, have love for that person. That's such a huge shift for me. Like, people that were mean to me, I would just send them love. I'd be like, that's love. I'm sending you love. And that put me at ease. I wrote it also in we have our little pod like ideas. I wrote it where it's like, you expect to kind of feed the other poison and then, or drink the poison, and you expect the person to suffer, but it's like you're suffering inside if you have resentment towards people, right?
Yeah.
And by kind of every day doing like small exercises of love, like send love to people, send love to yourself. I love this about myself. Maybe something you used to criticize, right? About yourself or about your house, and like, and it ties together with being thankful. Like, I'm trying to get it into a point where people understand that there are concrete ways as well, like certain tips and tricks, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the things we talk about are very much mental, but we can change them into like things in our daily lives.
For sure.
You know? And
I think what's like important is to know that, because I think I was struggling with that, especially like around dating and stuff, is like, okay, if I don't like what society tells me it's supposed to be like, or I'm not acting the way, then I'm doing something wrong. And I would beat myself up and be like, why do I not feel that way towards that? And then I realized, wait, like, by doing that, I'm blocking myself from love because I'm just not loving myself and accepting that maybe my vision is completely different and probably of most people, but we always think that everybody thinks the same way, but it's so not the case. Yeah. Like, you need to figure out what makes you feel good. Little acts of self-love. Like, I love making a cup of coffee in the morning and sitting on my windowsill. I love doing that. And every day I do that out of a form of self-love, and I just look out of the window and it makes me feel amazing. And I'm like, I feel like we feel so guilty about treating ourselves sometimes, and it doesn't have to be something big, but just caring for yourself, and then knowing that if you keep showing up for other people and you're draining your battery, that you won't be able to show up for them like you want to, and you're burnt out. So it's okay to take time for yourself, be like, I'm kind of tired, I just want to read, and really do what you want to do, and then show up for that person. Yeah. And a person that really loves you and respects you and understands will love and understand you for those things. Right? Like, my friends love and understand me for those things. I will need to have a partner that loves and understands me for those things, because otherwise it just doesn't work. And it doesn't need to feel, I think it's amazing when things feel exciting and grand and whatever, but at some point that's all going to fade. And then you really have to see, what do I want and need in my life to make it easier? I feel like relationships are there to make life easier and enhance your life.
It's an addition, not a subtraction, not a division, not a multiplication.
Yeah. And that love can be from,
and it's optional, not mandatory.
It is optional.
Like, it's optional, and it can come from many sources, but it's like it can come from your dog. It can come from
dogs.
Your favorite coffee place in the morning. It can come from saying hello to everybody at work, even though they never smile, but you think it's kind of funny. Like, you know what I mean? But just if you don't find those things for yourself, you're still blocking yourself off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your job
like,
to feel good. It's your job to feel good. If people don't make me feel good, like, why am I sticking to them? I don't like, I do those things, but it's so stupid.
Referring back to the last podcast episode, quantity over quality. Oh, still getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah.
No,
I completely blessed out what I said here. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Lucas is lovesick. He's tired.
They say love is in the air, so I hold my breath till my face turns purple.
Yeah.
That's a Lil Wayne lyric. So he's like, I hold my breath so I don't feel love in the air.
Love is funny, man. Love is
funny, but I personally think self-love is the strongest form of love, in my opinion. It's so solid, and it can help you in so many other types of love. If you want to have love for, like, and this is just my opinion, I'm not saying it's everything, every other type of love is kind of insignificant, but what I'm saying, what I've realized over the years is that a lot of people that have self-love for themselves, they might not be the smartest person on the planet, but they literally, because they're confident in themselves, they love themselves, they are CEOs of companies compared to a person who might be more competent than that but don't believe in themselves, right?
For sure.
So it's like, but also in relationships, once you feel love for yourself, like Emma said, you know your values, you know, this is what I like believe in, this is how I feel. You can kind of tell if your partner isn't really vibing with that or isn't really accepting that, because you know yourself. If you don't know yourself and you dive deep into a relationship, because you don't know yourself, the other person has so much control in being like, I don't like this about you, and you're like, oh damn, maybe I don't like this about myself too. But because you don't know, you don't have solid ground, anything he can say can tear your base apart, right?
Yeah.
So you are at the hands, or you're at the mercy of something you can't really like control because it's in his hands. So knowing yourself but it's a journey. It's such a journey. Life throws a lot of things, guys. We all know this.
But that's life.
It's life. It's so uncontrolled. Can we talk about that eventually? Like, it's so uncontrolled.
I think, like, really what you need to focus on, especially like on love or whatever, is just how you want to feel every day. And not every day is going to be great, but it's like, how do I want to feel, and is this making me feel better? Because there's certain things you can't control, but you can control who your partner's going to be. You can control who your friends are going to be. Like, where am I getting my sources of love? You can control that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you can start by controlling what kind of person I'm going to be.
Oh, yes.
That was cute.
That's cute. That is true.
Yeah, look at the man in the mirror, man. Like, and then you attract what you need and want, because people will
definitely
see what you radiate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that is true. Yeah, because in life, everything is uncontrolled, but the things you can control, try to cherish them, right?
Yeah.
Try to value them, because
and invest in them and like make it grow. You know, like that's, I think, the essence is, like, for me, love is really the people and the things that make me also love myself more. And then when I'm able to give people love, it makes me feel so good. And like, but enhancing the people that they are and not trying to change.
Don't you feel when we talk, like, I don't want to like boost our, what's it called? Boost our horn? What is it called?
Toot our horn.
Toot our horn. But like, when I talk to friends or with you guys, like, I just feel my personality flourishes. I'm happy. And then afterwards I feel happy and I feel love. And I'm like, damn, this part of my personality shine bright. And I feel good about myself because I have friends that bounce that energy back. Do you guys also feel that? Yeah.
100%. Like, when I got home like an hour ago, I was like, my mood was down. I was like, I'm not gonna be happily bubbly for this podcast. I'm not gonna be doing shit, you know. I was like, this is close to cancelling, and then, you know, now I feel good.
You feel good,
yeah,
because you're stepping into another aspect
for me, but
yeah,
still good. You know, I'm in a good mood. Like, I'm here to do this. I'm ready to study after this. So
yeah, because your actual true self is like shining, right? Like your personality, you're just yourself. You're like, you're chilling,
and I'm doing something for me. I enjoy.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
But it started with that pasta with a salmon. I'm not gonna lie. So. Food is also love, okay?
That was food is love. Honestly, good
Food is love.
pasta.
Oh my god, we didn't talk about the most food.
Food.
That is so love.
That yeah, or like making somebody food. It's the little things, guys.
It is the little things.
Really, like ask yourself, what makes me feel good? What makes me grow and evolve?
Food.
On that topic, I got to share the news. The almond croissant turned into almond croissant 2.0. Okay. So the original almond croissant is still there.
Which is
now Emma looks so confused.
Enriga, I'm like, this is my favorite pastry.
Wait, can I guess?
Love.
Is it pistachio cream as well?
You're joking! How the hell did you know?
That's amazing.
It's
Wait,
pistachio cream.
Actually, are you serious?
I am dead ass serious.
I have not
great
seen
minds think alike.
I see love in this guy's eyes right now. This is love.
Like,
Lucas, I
two favorite things. Almond croissant, pistachios.
I had an intuition.
God.
I had a feeling. I don't know why.
Oh my God, it's incredible. How the flying damn did you know?
I know a lot, man. I used to work there.
That's amazing. Like, I need to eat that. But I mean, guys, what we're saying at the end is get yourself that almond pistachio croissant and a
oh my God, 100%
cup of coffee and just love that moment.
100%.
Love that moment, like you said. And I mean, even if you don't love the moment, that's fine too. But
love yourself in the moment.
Love yourself and just be in the moment. Like, don't try to look for love outside of you. Try to cultivate it inside of you, and you'll feel it in your environment. Like Emma said, like you'll attract people that have that love and that pureness to them, right?
I mean, that's how I found
self-love routine, so you can't miss it.
Lucas, that's for you. That advice is for you.
Oh, I do that.
You
every day.
Okay, that's good.
Gym time.
See? That's
you have to be my witness, Vic. You have to be my witness.
Yeah. That's
true. Also how you prove to yourself that you love yourself. You're like, I'm taking care of myself.
Discipline, yes.
Taking care of yourself is love.
But I messed up my knees today, so.
No, but I agree with that. It's such a great point because discipline is also a form of love. Showing up for yourself is love, right? Going to the gym, I'm like, because if I don't own up to like, oh, I want to go to the gym every day, I'm kind of not respecting myself, right? In a way, I'm not respecting myself, and it's like, that is true.
And you feel that, and love is a verb. Like, I feel like love is just action and care, and it's nourishing. It's there, but
you should just be it.
Be it. We should live it.
Be it. I have flowers. Like, guys, go get flowers. Put it on your table. Like, they're dead now, but you know what? That's all right.
That's the circle of life, and
that is.
They're gorgeous.
Cute.
But like, if you get, it's like dead roses. But I don't know. Hopefully, that's not a metaphor for something.
Get potted plants. They thrive with you.
Yeah,
that's true. My plants have not disappointed, but. I think
go get a cactus.
Like, honestly, find out the things that make you feel good, that make you feel loved, and then just show up in that way, and you will find all the sources
for it.
You need. That's love is everywhere. Love is all around.
Love is all around. Go listen to LOV.
Love is in the air.
Love is all that we can give to you at the fact that.
Oh, that was amazing.
I thought you were going to finish the lyric.
That was pretty smooth, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but Valentine's Day or not, have love in yourself and be love and work on yourself if you don't feel that love, you know? And if you feel hate, that's all right. Like, try to understand why you feel that way. Yeah. We're not saying neglect every other emotion and just focus on love. We're saying most emotions tie back to love, right?
They do. So start by loving yourself before you can love
that is important.
People.
Also, the plant out of Lucas's head is also loving himself, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Giving you love.
It's giving you love. We want to actually, for the future we want to do more topics, right? So I think people have something to look forward to because we have a history of talking about everything on the face of the earth. But
we're trying to structure more, but we have a lot of ideas, but we're open to.
We have a surprise coming up.
Oh, we do. We have a massive surprise going up, and I'm so excited for it.
I'm so
guys. Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm gonna cry. But what promo time, Lucas?
Find us on Instagram, the fact that official. Find us on Twitter, the fact of that subscore, and find us basically anywhere where podcasts are available, like Amazon, Google, Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Netflix, HBO.
We wish, but we're working on that still.
We will.
No, find us anywhere where podcasts are available, and we're very much looking forward to hearing from you guys. Any suggestions, any new topics that you have coming up, anything that you are most interested in, and we'll see you in the next one in a month.
XOXO.
Spread that love. Okay.
Gossip girl.
Gotta love Gossip Girl.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.